Hey curious minds, have you ever wondered how fish breathe underwater? It's pretty amazing, right? We need air to breathe, but fish live deep in the water. So, how do they do it without holding their breath forever? Well, fish have a super special trick up their finny sleeves. They don't have lungs like we do. Instead, they have something called gills. Gills are like a fish's amazing breathing system, perfectly designed for life in the water. Imagine a fish swimming along. First, it opens its mouth wide, just a little bit, and takes a gulp of water, not to drink it like we do, but to let the water flow in. This water is full of things, including tiny amounts of oxygen. Yes, water has oxygen dissolved in it, just like fizzy drinks have bubbles. Once the water is inside the fish's mouth, it doesn't go to their tummies. Instead, it flows over these incredible organs called gills. You can often see them on the sides of a fish's head, usually protected by a flap called an operculum. Think of it like a little door that opens and closes. Now, here's where the magic happens. Each gill isn't just one big flap. It's made up of lots of tiny, feathery parts called gill filaments. If you looked really, really close, you'd see that these filaments are covered in super tiny blood vessels, like a tangled network of roads. As the water flows over these feathery parts, the oxygen that was dissolved in the water gets pulled into the fish's blood. And at the same time, carbon dioxide, which is what the fish's body doesn't need like the air we breathe out, passes from the fish's blood back into the water. It's like a tiny swap shop. Oxygen in, carbon dioxide out. Then, the water, now with less oxygen and more carbon dioxide, flows out through the gill openings, often located just behind the gill covers. This whole process happens super fast, all the time, as long as the fish is alive and moving water over its gills. This constant flow of water is really important. If a fish stops moving water over its gills, it can't get enough oxygen. That's why some fish, like sharks, have to keep swimming all the time. They don't have gill covers to pump water, so they have to ram water into their mouths to breathe. Sharks, for example, have several gill slits instead of one big gill cover. You can actually see these slits on the side of their bodies. They have to keep swimming forward to force water over their gills and extract oxygen. This is called ram ventilation. Pretty cool, right? But not all fish breathe exactly the same way. Take the beautiful betta fish, also known as Siamese fighting fish. You might have seen them in small tanks. They have gills, of course, but they also have a special organ called a labyrinth organ. This amazing organ lets them gulp air directly from the surface of the water. That's why they can sometimes live in water with not much oxygen, or even survive for a little while if they're scooped out of the water, though they need to be back in water quickly to thrive. It's like having a backup breathing system. And what about the amazing mud skippers? These fish are truly unique. They can spend a lot of time out of water, hopping around on mud flats. How do they breathe? They use their gills, yes, but they also absorb oxygen through their wet skin and the lining of their mouths and throats. As long as they stay moist, they can get enough oxygen to explore the land a little. Talk about being adventurous. It's important to remember that water has much less oxygen in it than the air we breathe. So, fish are super efficient at grabbing every tiny bit of oxygen they can from the water using their incredible gills. It shows how perfectly adapted they are to their watery homes. Learning about how fish breathe helps us understand just how diverse and incredible life on Earth is. Every creature, no matter how big or small, has special adaptations that help it survive and thrive in its unique environment. It reminds us to be curious about the world around us and to protect these amazing creatures and their homes. Isn't nature full of amazing solutions? The next time you see a fish, you'll know exactly how it's taking its underwater breaths. What other how questions make you curious? Let us know in the comments below. We love exploring the world with you. See you next time, curious minds.